What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C4 here. Today, doing a video much like the video you would have seen earlier, which was the slider video. So many people ask what sliders I use in my Eagles Connected franchise mode. People are saying, let's see what the rosters are looking like across the league. I know you're using real rookies. Let's see where they have gone and how they're developing. This is the second time I have recorded this. I did a run through, which was almost an hour. I actually think it was an hour on the dot. But I wasn't completely satisfied, as there was a couple rookies that I did miss, or just prospects that are developing well that I didn't rename to a rookie. So I decided to go through that, and there was also just guys that, because I did these. That's the thing you got to remember. These rosters were day one rosters. I did this franchise within the first 24 hours of this game being released. So not only do I have to deal with the fucking bugs that have been patched since, I have the day one roster. So guys, like an example, I had to go back, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was like a 61 overall. So I had to make him and change him to make him a little bit better. I will say a couple notes before we do it. We'll jump into free agency. There's a couple guys that have got cut that I improved, and I assume they'll get picked up soon. One was Cody Whitehair of the Chicago Bears. He's an 82. Jesus Christ, where's the running backs at? Did they get signed already? We got Jordan Howard, 81. Somehow, for some reason, he got let go. Who else was there? There's three. And Adam Humphries was another dude. He's developed pretty nicely for a slot receiver for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, I was looking at what players should get boosted. Could not find A.J. Boye. He's one of the bigger, guys that have established himself as a legit corner. Can't find A.J. Boye anywhere in my game. I don't know if he retired or he sucked so bad they just got rid of him. Not exactly sure. So we'll just answer those questions right at the get-go, and hopefully this video will be a little bit shorter than, I think it was 57 minutes. But there you go, credit to myself. I try my best to give you guys the best content, and I upload that video. Took probably 4 hours to record that video, render it, and upload it. And I just wasn't satisfied with the end product, so I straight up just fucking deleted it, and I'm re-recording this one, so hopefully you guys do enjoy. We will start quickly with the Philadelphia Eagles to get them out of the way, but you guys are pretty familiar with this roster. We got Carson Wentz and Seth Russell. Christian McCaffrey out of Stanford is our starting running back. We got Smallwood there. Fullback is Freddie Stevenson out of Florida State. I'm going to say before, we'll just stop right here, that there's probably three guys that are actually pretty good that I just like their name. I thought their name was kind of cool for, a draft prospect that are doing all right. But yeah, most of these people are custom rookies. Then we have, for the Eagles wide receivers, we got Jordan Matthews at an 87. He's developing very well. DGB up to an 81. I don't know if he'll develop any more. That's his peak. I expect that to be his peak. We got Antonio Callaway, who was our first-round draft pick out of Florida, the burner, Aguilar, and Paul Primetime Turner. Tight end, Zach Ertz, Brent Selleck, and Trey Burton. Ertz up to a 90. Offensive line, Lane Johnson moved over to left tackle after Jason Peters retired. He's an 88. Wisniewski, 82. Siamalu, 72. Center, Jason Kelsey, 83. We got Ethan Posich from LSU as our backup center. Probably going to take over for Jason Kelsey within the coming days. And by days, I mean coming weeks. As in by coming weeks, I mean probably in the offseason. I'm thinking I might just slide McGuire because Brandon Brooks has not developed very well at all for us. He's down to a 79. Connor McDermott from UCLA, an 80 overall right tackle. We got Vaitai, 71. Brandon Graham, 89. Oh, shit. We actually have Brian Cox from the University of Florida. I'm a Gator fan. Nice to have him on the roster. Vinny Curry, 81. Defensive tackle Fletcher Cox, at 99. Benny Logan, 87. Left outside linebacker, we have Nigel Bradham here for now, but our starter is Zach Cunningham, the outside linebacker from Vandy, one of our first-round picks this year. We also have Vince Beagle from Wisconsin, a talented outside linebacker that I have had mocked to the Eagles in past mock drafts. Middle linebacker is Jordan Hicks, 86. Michael Kendricks, outside linebacker, 86. We also got Suat Cravens, who was let go by the Washington Redskins. Corners, we have Jalen Mills, Marlon Humphrey from Alabama. Our corners are weak. We got to definitely work on improving them in the coming seasons. That's where we're going to go heavy in the draft. Our safety, we got Roddy McLeod as our starting safety. We also have Justin Simmons, who was a fairly high draft pick from the Denver Broncos. Safeties is Malcolm Jenkins. He's at 30, so I'm a little bit worried that he's going to start regressing after the season. That's why we got Jamal Adams, the safety from LSU, an 80 overall, who actually, I think we have him playing corner right now and getting some XP so that he can eventually take over for Malcolm Jenkins. Cody Parkey up to a 94, and Sam Martin, our punter, is right there. I don't think we have any real prospects in the practice squad. I don't think we're going to go through. Oh, we have Cody O'Connell, who's actually a real prospect from Washington State. And Cordrea Tankersley 66. He is shit. I mean, he's predicted to be like a day 2 draft pick in this current draft, but definitely didn't develop a whole well for us here. Who knows? All right, so let's be quicker for every other team, starting with the Atlanta Falcons. So we got Matt Ryan, 89 for the starting quarterback. How about this? What we'll do? We'll go through the players, and I'm just going to talk about the college prospects, and you guys can look at the overall. So that should probably cut off like 10 or 15 minutes out the video, unless a guy's overall is like, wow, that guy's fuck. Let's talk about that. So we got Freeman and Tevin Coleman as the running backs. DeMarco as the fullback. Julio Jones, Sanu, still the top wide receivers there. Tight end is Vance McDonald. We got Jake Matthews, Andy Levitre, Alex Mack, Travis Bond, who the fuck's that? And they have the rookie Cam Robinson. Well, the rookie, Jesus Christ, he's a second-year player. He's an 88 overall, probably has a superstar trait. Freak. 88 overall for Cam Robinson. He's projected to be a left tackle. He's a right tackle here. Beast pick for the Falcons. They also have Caleb Brantley, defensive tackle. Just general defensive lineman from the University of Florida. Can play a little bit of a 3-4 defensive end. Probably best suited for a 4-3D tackle, but he's a 79 overall rookie. They got Mario Williams, Grady Jarrett at defensive tackle, Sean Witherspoon, Deion Jones, and Vic Beasley as their linebackers. We got Desmond Trufant, Jalen Collins as their top corners. Safeties, they have Nate Gary from Nebraska, real prospect, 76 overall. We also have Keanu O'Neal from the University of Florida, a monster, sitting with an 85. Special teams is Kai Forbath and Matt Bosher. Looking at the San Francisco 49ers, oh, Jesus Christ. JT Barrett is their starting quarterback now as a rookie at 76 overall. Many people question, is he a quarterback at the next level? He's a running back, wide receiver, who knows? But looks like the Niners are making a go of it. Running back, Carlos Hyde. They have this guy, Highsmith for the fullback. Torrey Smith. Brandon Powell from the University of Florida, the rookie, 78 overall. Probably will never be a 78 overall, but showing some love to the Florida Gators here as their top 2 wide receivers. Tight end is Jacob Tamme. Offensive line goes Joe Staley, Tyler Larson, Joey Hunt, Joshua Garnett, and Anthony Davis. He didn't retire in this game. Defensive line, they have Eric Armstead, 81. They also have Charles Walker from Oklahoma, 79 overall. Really good, projected to be a first-round draft. I think actually declared in 2017, but was projected to be a first-rounder in 2018, which is why we have him here. Right defensive end, DeForest Buckner, 85. They have Sammy Hill, defensive tackle. Linebackers are Alex Okafor. Old man Pat Willis still holding on. They also have Hardy Nickerson from the University of Illinois. Son, I assume, of legendary Tampa Bay Buck linebacker. I think his name's Hardy Nickerson as well. Outside linebacker, they have Paul Kruger. Corners, they have Jalen Tabor, 91 overall. Oof. Him and Cam Robinson are fucking monsters in this thing. 88, 91 respectively. That's sick. Brock is their backup corner, or their second corner, sorry. Eric Reed at free safety, and Jaquiski Tart here at strong. They also have Caleb Sturgis and Bradley Pinion as their special teamers. Moving on to the New York Giants at quarterback, they got Eli Manning. Old man Eli. He must be getting ready to retire soon, so they need a backup plan. It's probably not going to be Tom Savage. Shane Vereen and the rookie from Tennessee, Jalen Hurd, who is no longer, I think he's trying to be a tight end now, and he transferred out of Tennessee. He's kind of a fucking shit show over there. As the running backs, John Connor as a fullback, Odell Beckham, 99. They got Sterling Shepard and Victor Cruz still there on the roster. Jake Butt, Evan Ingram, and Larry Donnell, but Evan Ingram and Jake Butt, I think that was number 1 in the first and second round. They went tight end. So they got 2 of the best tight end prospects in college today in Jake Butt and Evan Ingram. They got Flowers, Pugh, Weston Richburg, Earl Watford, and Jordan Mills. So that's, as a whole, a pretty good offensive line. JPP at left defensive end. Olivier Vernon, 93 overall, right defensive end. Hankins and Harrison as the D tackles. Kennard, oh shit, actually they have Kennard there, but I assume TJ Watt, J.J. Watt's brother at the University of Wisconsin, will be the starter sooner than later. Keenan Robinson, Christian Jones. They got Jadoris, DRC, and Eli Apple as their corners right now. Free safety, McDowell, and strong safety, Landon Collins, an 85. Maybe I could have juiced him up a little bit more. And they got a rookie, and they got fucking 4 special teamers. Okay. Good strategy, Giants. GG. Looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars, Blake Bortles as the starting quarterback, 89. They got Yeldon, running back. Greenberry as the fullback here. Wide receivers are AR-15, Allen Robinson, 93, and a 90 for Allen Hurns. And they also got the rookie, well, he's second year now, Mike Williams from the University of Clemson. So they just went all out here on wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tight end Julius Thomas. Offensive line is Kelvin Beachum. Adrian Peterman. Ugh, he's not looking too good. Brandon Linder. They got Luke Bowanko and Ryan Schrader from the Atlanta Falcons. That's a pretty good offensive line. Left defensive end, they have Derek Barnett from the University of Tennessee at 76 overall. We got Dante Fowler, right defensive end. Defensive tackle, Malik Jackson, 87. Telvin Smith, Miles Jack, and Jonathan Newsom make the linebacking core. Very solid. And corners, Jalen Ramsey up to a 97. Holy fuck. He's balling. They have Bradley Roby and Prince of Mukamara here. And that's pretty good. That's a pretty good... Man, this team is looking good. Micah Hyde. They have Buda Baker from Washington as a backup free safety who I assume will eventually take over at one of these spots. Jesus, they are going all in. Look at this. They have 2 rookie safety 78s. We probably could have named them, but Jesus Christ. This is a great-looking team. Dan Carpenter and Brad Norman are their special teamers. So far, Jags, next to probably my Eagles. Well, even my Eagles team is not, on paper, super strong. That Jags team is sick. Look at the Jets. They got Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback. Hopefully he's solving some answers there. They have Matt Forte as their starter, but I fully assume Royce Freeman from Oregon will be their starting running back, the guy that we traded to the Jets to get Marlon Humphrey. Tommy Bohannon fullback. They got Decker, Devin Smith, and D.D. Westbrook as their wide receivers. Jason Barrow, tight end. Offensive line is Luke Jokel, James Carpenter, John Toth from the University of Kentucky, 78. William Campbell and Kirkland Clifton. Ugh, he's not looking too good. But overall, I mean, that's a middle-of-the-pack offensive line, I'd say. Defensive side of the ball, they got Wilkerson at 95. They got Sheldon Richardson, 89. Ooh, no more Leonard Williams. I can see that. Jay Brawley, defensive tackle. Obviously, they made the executive decision to save some money. Outside linebacker, Jordan Jenkins. Middle linebacker, Darren Lee. And they have right outside linebacker from the University of Tennessee, Jalen Reeves. It may have been 76 overall. Secondary, Darrell Reeves, 87. Still holding on there. I guess we were a little bit generous. We could have went in and made him, like, what would Darrell Reeves' rating be after this season in real life? Like a 71. They also have Adonis Alexander, the rookie from Virginia Tech. He's really solid. Free safety Marcus Gilchrist and strong safety Calvin Pryor. So the secondary is still on paper strong for the Jets. They have Vance and Jeff Locke as their special teamers. Moving on to the Detroit Lions. Quarterback Matt Stafford, 85. But I guess if he's down in the fourth quarter, he shoots up to a 99. Running back, they get Amir Abdullah, 84. Also, Donnell Pumphrey from the San Diego State. I believe he's the all-time rushing yards leader for something. I don't know if it's all college football or if it was just like... I think it is all college football. He's the leader right now, 73. No one's really sure how he'll transition to the next level. Burton at fullback, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, and Albert Wilson as their wide receivers. Eric Ebron's developing to a nice tight end here, 88. Offensive line is Taylor Decker, Laken Tomlinson, Graham Glasgow, Larry Warford, Riley Reef. That's a solid offensive line. Ashawn Robinson is now a defensive end, I guess. To go with Ziggy Ansah. Defensive tackle is Jesse Williams, so not amazing. Left outside linebacker Tahir Whitehead. They have the rookie. Well, I keep saying rookie. When I say rookie, I just mean a guy that I made. They have Raekwon McMillan, the middle linebacker from Ohio State, 82 overall. Good rating for him. DeAndre Levy is their starting right outside linebacker, where they have the future. And Anthony Walker Jr. from Northwestern, who has an 81 as a rookie. That's pretty goddamn good. Darius Slay, a 93 overall corner. To go with Jordan Thomas, the rookie from Oklahoma, 81 overall. Free safety, Marcus Allen from Penn State, 76 overall. They also have Armani Watts, who was a first or second round draft pick last year. I guess they keep trying to hit on free safeties here. Armani Watts from Texas A&M. And strong safety is Kamal Ishmael and Hopkins and Shum as the special teamers. So not a horrible roster there for the Lions. Looking at the Green Bay Packers, perennial Mr. MVP, who wins it every fucking year pretty much. Aaron Rodgers is a 97. We got Eddie Lacy, 84. He's still chilling there. Sam Rogers from Virginia Tech is an 82 overall fullback. Wide receivers are Cobb, 92. Nelson, 87. Devontae Adams, 83. Tom Montgomery still classified as a wide receiver here. Tight end is Richard Rodgers with a 90. Oof. They also have Jeremy Sprinkle from Arkansas, 76. Offensive line goes as follows. Bakhtiari, 80. We got Josh Sitton, who I guess didn't make the move to the Bears, or they re-signed him again. Center Corey Linsley. Right guard TJ Lang. And right tackle Brian Bulaga. Defense side of the ball, they have Henry Anderson, 79. We got Mike Daniels, 91. Kenny Clark, defensive tackle, 81. We have the rookie from Utah, Lowell Lotulelei, regarded as one of the better interior defensive linemen. Sorry. Only a 74 overall, though. Left side linebacker Clay Matthews. Middle linebacker Sam Barrington. But they have the rookie Josie Jewell from Iowa. 79 overall. Good overall for him. Right outside linebackers Nick Perry. Corners are Ruben Rand or Demarius. Jesus Christ, C4. Reed, pace yourself. Demarius Randall is their 83 overall corner with Sam Shields and Quentin Rollins. Free safety is Clinton Dix with an 88 overall and Morgan Burnett 85 overall. So still a really good secondary here for the Green Bay Packers. They have Crosby and Dyer as their special teamers. Looking at the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton 95 overall. We got Jonathan Stewart still doing his thing. Fullback is Mike Tolbert, old backfield there. Kelvin Benjamin, Philly Brown, and Devin Funchess are their primary wide receivers, but they also have Cooper Kupp from Eastern Washington, 75 overall. Tight end is G-Reg with his third leg with a 92. Mike McGlinchey, the talented offensive lineman from Notre Dame, is sitting here with an 81. Good overall from him. They have Norwell, 90. Ryan Khalil, Trey Turner, and Darrell Williams. So overall, this is still a fairly strong offensive line, making Panthers a dangerous team on offense. They have Charles Johnson, the old man Johnson here on defensive end. To pair with Coney Ely. And defensive tackle, they have, Jesus Christ, K'Wan Short, Star Lotulelei, and Vernon Butler. So they have lots of depth there at defensive tackle. Shaq Thompson, outside linebacker. Luke Kuechly, middle linebacker, 99. And old man Thomas Davis, still with an 84 here at outside linebacker. It's probably his last year. Look at their secondary. They have Ben Wickery, who I'm pretty sure they cut, but he's chilling here with an 81. James Bradbury with an 81. And Sidney Jones, the rookie from the University of Washington, chilling with a 79. Free safety Kirk Coleman. And strong safety Trey Boston. So that's still, and with Gano and Colquitt as their special teamers, this is still a very strong team for the Carolina Panthers. The New England Patriots will start at the quarterback. No more Tom Brady, but they have Brad Kaya from Miami, who's rocking an 82 overall. Shut this fucking door here. 82 overall for Brad Kaya. Running back, they have Dion Lewis, 82. Will Johnson is their starting fullback. Wide receivers, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, and Artavis Scott, the rookie from Clemson. Makes probably the weakest wide receiver core we have seen for the New England Patriots. Tight end, they still got Gronk with the 99. Offensive line, they have Nate Solder, Shaq Mason, Josh Klein, Trey Jackson, and Bradley Sowell. So, Brad Kaya might be getting hit a lot. Leaving side of the ball, they got Tony Gerard, Eddie, Jabal Sheard as their defensive ends. D tackles are Terrence Knighton. Ooh, Jesus. Malcolm Brown is definitely not developing in this one. And I think, actually, Trey Flowers could be a little bit hard. He's having a good year with the New England Patriots. Anyways. For outside linebacker, we got Lamar Houston here, 77. Jamie Collins is 91. I guess he decided not to stay in Cleveland, a.k.a. I just started this way before he got released. Right outside linebackers, Hightower, so linebacking core is very strong. Corners, Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler, and the veteran Jonathan Joseph, so that's great corner. Safety, McCourty, and strong safety, Chung. So, I mean, very good secondary. Maybe the best secondary we've seen so far for the Patriots with Gostowski and Allen as the special teamers. Looking at the Oakland Raiders, Derek Carr chilling at an 87. Running back is Latavius Murray, 86. Well, they also have, look at that, Corey Clement from Wisconsin. Fullback was Derek Coleman, 80. Wide receiver, we got Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, 88 and 83 respectively. And then Juju Smith-Schuster from USC with an 80 overall. Tight end Clive Walford. And they also have DeAndre Goolsby from Florida. All you Gator fans over there representing. Left tackle David Sharp from Florida. Another Gator. Back-to-back Florida Gators, baby. But look, they actually have an 878, and then they drafted another left tackle. Oh, shut up, phone. They drafted another left tackle, and I just kept him with his whatever random generating name because that's a pretty cool name, DeAndre Bullitt, as a 78. Left guard Kalicio Semele. They got Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, and Austin Howard. So for the most part, aside from the right side, at the right tackle spot, very good offensive line. Left defensive end Jahad Ward, Mario Edwards Jr. 83. We got Dan Williams 85. Khalil Mack 97. Would have thought he would have been a 99 right now. Maybe he had a down year or something like that. Middle linebacker Stephen Tulloch. Right outside linebacker Alden Smith. Secondary is David Anderson and Sean Smith. Free safety J.J. Wilcox. And then the beast from West Virginia, Carl Joseph, chilling with an 83. Special teams are Nick Folk and Marquette King. Moving on to the L.A. Rams. At quarterback, Jared Goff, 80. Not developing nearly as well as Mr. Carson Wentz has, but still there. He might have a chance. Todd Gurley up to a 95. Fucking freak beast. He's a monster. Fullback Cody Harkey. Wide receivers are Tavon Austin, Kenny Britt, and Malachi Dupree from LSU. Still working on getting a solid wide receiver core there. Tight end Martellus Bennett, 82. Offensive line is Greg Robinson, Garrett Reynolds, Mason Cole, the center from Michigan, solid center. James Stone and Rob Havenstein. Ooh, and look at that. They have the freak monster. Literally like the biggest college football player I've seen in quite some time. Zach Banner from USC, 6'8", 360 pounds. Holy fuck. 76. They got old man William Haynes, the man that believes in, what's he believe in? Fucking mermaids or something crazy like that. Still chilling at 83. I don't know. I guess that's the word of the day, still chilling. Aaron Donald at 99. That's obvious. D-tackle Michael Brockers. They got Marquise Haynes, the rookie from Ole Miss, 79. Very good overall for him. Alec Ogletree. Robert Quinn is now an outside linebacker. Okay. Well, I guess they moved to a 3-4. That makes a little bit of sense. E.J. Gaines, Tremaine Johnson, still their corners. Keyshawn Jarrett and T.J. McDonald as their safeties with Chris Boswell and Johnny Hecker as their special teams. So that's a decent team there for the L.A. Rams. Moving to the Baltimore Ravens, they got Joe Flacco, 80 overall, still trying to stay elite, I guess. Jeremy Hill is their starting running back, 86. But they also have Nick Chubb waiting to take over that spot, 81. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk's at 89. They got Perriman, Darren Carrington from Oregon, the rookie. Wide receivers are, that's just a mismatch there. Still no weapons for Flacco. Virgil Green is a tight end. Left tackle, offensive line, we'll go Ronnie Stanley. Pat Elflein from Ohio State. We got Jeremy Zuta, Marshall Yonda, and Rick Wagner. So, Timmy Jernigan, left defensive end. We also got Terrell Suggs, right defensive end. D-tackle Brandon Williams. Outside linebacker Arthur Moats. Middle linebacker C.J. Mosley, chilling with an 88. We got right outside linebacker, the rookie from Ohio State, Dante Booker, 83 overall. They must have had like the first round pick because this team's not looking too hot. Everything else inside of this. Corners are Jimmy Smith and LaMarcus Joyner. They also have Duke Dawson from Florida. More Florida Gators. We're trying to include all of them if we can. Free safety Eric Weddle and strong safety Jonathan Cyprian. Special teams are Justin Tucker and Sam. I'm just going to call him Cock. Probably could make Justin Tucker higher overall. We might juice him up a little bit after the video. Looking at the Washington Redskins, Kirk Cousins. You like that. 82 overall. Probably could be higher, but I guess he's struggling a little bit. And obviously, because they drafted Josh Rosen, the self-proclaimed next Peyton Manning from UCLA, as their next quarterback, I assume. That'll be some good battles. They have Sims, 88 overall. Jeez, look at these running backs. 88 overall Charles Sims, 82 overall Matt Jones, and 81 overall Jeremy McNichols from Boise State. Ooh. Fullback is Dvorsky Lane. Wide receivers are Josh Doxson, Deshaun Jackson, and Pierre Garçon. Tight end Jordan Reed's at a 96. Offensive line is Trent Williams, Jordan Morgan from Kutztown. He's a real prospect. I added him. Center is Jay Guillermo from Clemson. He was Deshaun Watson's center. Right guard Brandon Schrift, and right tackle Morgan Moses. So solid young offensive line there for the most part. Left defensive end is Desmond Bryant. Right defensive end is Chris Baker, that fat piece of shit. Overall, pretty shit defensive ends. Defensive tackle is Matt Ioannidis from Temple, so pretty weak defensive line for the Redskins. Outside linebackers Ryan Kerrigan, middle linebacker Vince Williams, and outside linebacker Preston Smith. Their secondary is Josh Norman chilling with the 93, Brashad Breeland 83, and Kendall Fuller 76. Safety Choney Jefferson, and strong safety Jabril Peppers. Is he a safety? Is he an outside linebacker? Well, I guess the Redskins are using him as a safety. Secondary is strong, but the front seven for the Redskins is, outside of really Ryan Kerrigan, is fairly weak. We got two kickers and a punter there. Tressway is the punter. Decent roster. Good competition for our Eagles. Look at the New Orleans Saints quarterback. No more Drew Brees. They got Sam Bradford, 76, but I assume sooner or later Baker Mayfield from Oklahoma will be their starting quarterback. Running back, they got Mark Ingram. They also have two real prospects, and Jahad Thomas from Temple and Justin Jackson from Northwestern, who are not really that great. Fullback, Sendejo. Wide receiver, Brandon Cooks, 97. Jesus, what the fuck is his development trade at? Holy fuck. Michael Thomas, 80. They got Ted Ginn, 76. Rest in peace, Josh Huff. Maybe Michael Thomas could be a little bit higher, but I don't know. Maybe 80's fair. Even though he's had an incredible rookie season. They got Kobe Flynn here at tight end. Offensive line goes as follows. Taron Armstead, Tim Liletto, Max Unger, Andres Pete, and Zach Streif. So, middle of the park offensive line. Defensive line, they got Cam Jordan, 91. Leonard Williams. Oh, there's where Leonard Williams is. No longer on the Jets. Now on the Saints, 83. They're finally starting to work on the defensive side of the ball. As soon as Drew Brees is gone, they have money to spend on defense. Defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins, 92. Jesus Christ. Rankins and Brandon Cooks are going off in terms of development. Outside linebacker, they got Bud Dupree. Middle linebacker, Paul Posluszny. Right outside linebacker, Craig Robinson. Then again, those linebackers suck. Delvin Breaux, they have Tre'Davious White from LSU and Garyon Conley from Ohio State as their corner. So that's a secondary with a lot of upside, we'll say. Free safety Jarris Byrd. Away in the wings is Drew Tranquill from Notre Dame with an 80 overall. And at strong safety, Kenny Vaccaro. Kicker Jason Myers. Punter Thomas Morstead. That's a team on the rise there, I'd say, in New Orleans. Looking at the Seattle Seahawks, quarterback Russell Wilson, 95. Running back Thomas Rawls, 86. C.J. Prosise was a 77 as well. They got Darrell Young as their fullback. Wide receiver Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, and Jermaine Kearse. Tight end Jimmy Graham. They also have Bucky Hodges, the rookie out of Virginia Tech, 80 overall. So investing heavily in the tight end position are the Seahawks. Offensive line goes as follows. They have Cam Fleming, Mark Lewinsky. Mark Lewinsky and Larry Allen Jr. from Howard, the son of the actual legend Larry Allen. Kyle Fuller, rookie, well, was a rookie. Somewhat touted, center from the University of Baylor right now. Luis Vasquez and Roderick Johnson, the right tackle from Florida State, probably going to be a first-round draft pick. 81 overall. So they're slowly starting to invest in offensive line here in Seattle. Defensive side of the ball, Michael Bennett, 89. They got Cliff Averill, 87. They're still both there getting it done. Defensive tackle is Jaron Reed. They got Barkevius Mingo, Bobby Wagner, and KJ Wright as their linebackers. Still elite. Their secondary, they got Richard Sherman and Jeremy Lane. So, they still got Richard Sherman, but still struggling to find the replacement for Brandon Browner here in the Legion of Boom. Safeties, Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, still super elite. Hauschka and John Ryan as their special teamers, so still a definitely big threat here in the NFC of Seattle. Looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, at quarterback Ben Roethlisberger with a 93 overall. Running back Le'Veon Bell, 99. Fullback Roosevelt Nix, 85. Wide receivers Antonio Brown, 97. Not a 99? What? And Martavis Bryant's up to an 88, so he's developing fairly well. They got Stills and Coates. Oh, what the fuck? And Nelson Aguilar's brother, Samuel from UNLV. Tight end Ladarius Green, 86. Offensive line goes as follows. They got Ryan Ramczyk from Wisconsin, 80 overall. Good on ya. Ramon Foster, Marquise Pouncey, David DeCastro, and Marcus Gilbert. So a very good offensive line. Defensive line, they got Cam Hayward, 89. Stephon Tuitt, 83. Defensive tackle, Akeem Spence. Outside linebacker, they got Charles Harris from Missouri, 84 overall. So he's developed well from his rookie season. Middle linebacker, Ryan Shazier. They got Connor Barwin now at right outside linebacker. Secondary is Artie Burns, Ross Cockrell, and P.J. Williams. Free safety is Mike Mitchell. And strong safety is Sean Davis, who's up to an 83 right now. And they also have Donnie Miles, the rookie from North Carolina. He's a real prospect as well. Kicker Ryan Suckup and punter Jordan Berry. So a very strong team for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Moving on to the Houston Texans. Brock Lobster, 80 overall. Don't know. That's, I title this a realistic connected franchise mode, but how realistic is it if Brock Osweiler's an 80? Lamar Miller, 91. Fullback Jay Proche, 85. Wide receivers are Hopkins, 97. Will Fuller, 83. Jalen Strong, Marquise Lee, and Braxton Miller. So a solid wide receiver core for the Houston Texans. Tight end Luke Wilson, 84. Offensive line goes as follows. They got Dwayne Brown, John Urschel, Brian Schwenke, Jeff Allen, and Derek Newton. So a pretty weak offensive line, to be completely honest with you. Left defensive end Quentin Copples. Right defensive end, 99 overall, J.J. Watt. Defensive tackle, they have Almeida Ta'amu. Ugh, that's not looking good. Whitney Merciless, look at these linebackers, would be crazy. Whitney Merciless, 88. Bernardrick McKinney, 82. That could be actually a little bit higher. And right outside linebacker, Jadeveon Clowney, 91. There's a reason why this team always gives me trouble, and it's probably because Clowney and Watt. Their secondary is, they got Desmond King and Tony Brown, both real prospects. Everyone knows Des King from Iowa, Tony Brown from Alabama, and Kevin Johnson here. Like I said, for some reason, I don't know where the hell A.J. Boye went. He vanished into thin air, which maybe, be realistic of his actual career. Maybe he's a one-year wonder. Who fucking knows? Free safety, Kendrick Lewis, and strong safety, Aaron Williams. They also have Xavier Woods, not the wrestler, but the safety from Louisiana Tech, who's a real prospect with a 76. Special teamers, Sean Sweesom and Spencer Lanning. So definitely is still a solid team in Houston. They'll probably make the playoffs. Moving on to the Tennessee Titans, quarterback Marcus Mariota, 85 overall. They have Adrian Peterson. I don't know what the fuck it is with the Tennessee Titans and getting running backs. But Adrian Peterson, they got Derrick Henry as a 79. Fullback Fowler, 87. Wide receivers, Kendall Wright, Rashard Matthews, Josh Gordon. They got Travis Rudolph from Florida State. So very good depth there at wide receiver. Tight end, Crockett Gilmore, as I assume Delaney Walker retired. Offensive line goes as follows. Taylor Lewan, Quentin Spain, Ben Jones, Chance Warmack, and Jack Conklin. Very good offensive line there in Tennessee. Left defensive end, Daquan Jones. Right defensive end, Jurrell Casey. Defensive tackle, Steve McClendon. Outside linebacker, Derek Morgan. Middle linebackers, Avery Williamson and Wesley Woodyard. Right outside linebacker, Brian Orakpo. And we got Kevin Dodd there waiting for him to retire or move on. Corners are Eric Rowe. Nice to see him land there. They got Quincy Wilson, the rookie from Florida, and Steven Nelson. Safety, Marquestin Huff. That's an exotic name. And Denora Searcy. They also have J. Ron Curse there chilling. Special teamers are Matt Prater and Brett Kern. So definitely a solid roster there for Tennessee. And then we got the Minnesota Vikings here. We got Teddy Bridgewater at 84 overall. I guess they decided to move on from Sam Bradford. Actually, I remember. We actually had Sam Bradford when we started this. That's how fucking long ago. And we traded Bradford to the Broncos, I think. So he never really touched the Minnesota Vikings, but they have Bridgewater here, 84. Running back, they got Dalvin Cook from Florida State, 82 overall. Fullback there. I'm not even going to try to fucking pronounce that. Wide receivers, they got Stephon Diggs, Laquan Treadwell, Jarius Wright, and Isaiah Ford, the rookie from Virginia Tech. Kyle Rudolph as tight end. Offensive line goes as follows. Matt Khalil, Alex Boone, Travis Swanson, Mike Harris, and Andre Smith. So a meh offensive line. Left defensive end are Monty Bryant. Right defensive ends, Jesus Christ, well, they got Griffin, 87. They got Danielle Hunters, geez, 23. He's younger than me, holy fuck. 87 overall. D tackle, Sharif Freud and Linval Joseph. Left side linebacker, Anthony Barr up to a 91. They also have Gerard Davis from the University of Florida, 81. Middle linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Right outside linebacker, they have Devontae Fields from Louisville. So if they were smart, I'd probably play Jared Davis over Devontae Fields. The secondary, they got Xavier Rhodes, Mackenzie Alexander, and Trey Waynes. Free safety, Harrison Smith, 93. A strong safety, Shamarko Thomas, 78. And special teamers, Blair Walsh and Tim Mastay. So I guess Vikings fans are still probably pissed off that Blair Walsh is under contract with the Vikings still. Moving on to the Chicago Bears. At the quarterback position, they have Deshaun Watson from Clemson, who's sitting at an 80 overall. Still eating that Jay Cutler cap. I don't know why. But Watson is their new quarterback. Running back, they have Trey Mason, 82. I don't know why they cut Jordan Howard, but he's still sitting there on free agency. Maybe they'll pick him up again. Langford and Crowell there. That's a pretty hefty backfield right there. Fullback, Emmanuel Holder. Alshon Jeffrey re-signed, I assume, so he's still there with the 92. They got Kevin White as their other wide receiver. Tight end, Jared Cook. They still have Jordan Leggett from Clemson, 78 overall. Offensive line goes as follows. Gary Gilliam, Xavier Suafilo, Max Turk, Kyle Long, and Jeff Adams. So they got rid of Jordan Howard and Cody Whitehair, who are both pretty solid, had good rookie seasons with the Bears this year in real life. On the defense side of the ball, Pernell McPhee, 97 overall. Jesus Christ. I guess the move from outside linebacker to defensive end helped them out a lot. They got Leonard Floyd here with an 81. They also got Eddie Goldman. And they got Leonard Floyd, pretty much clone, Lorenzo Carter from the University of Georgia, a rookie right now, 81 overall. Middle linebacker, they got Trevathan and Jarrell Freeman. Right outside linebacker, Trent Murphy. Secondary, they got Kyle Fuller, Jordan Lewis from Michigan. It's not horrible. Definitely not a horrible cornerback pairing. Adrian Amos and Will Hill as their safety. So that's definitely a solid secondary there for the Chicago Bills. Jesus Christ. For the Chicago Bears. Robbie Gould decided to come back to the Bears, I suppose, and Pat O'Donnell as the special teamers. Moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals. At quarterback, Andy Dalton, 87 overall. Running back, Giovanni Bernard, up to a 91. Oof, he's on fire. Fullback, Ryan Hewitt. Wide receivers, A.J. Green, 93. And they got Tyler Boyd. K.D. Cannon, the rookie from the University of Baylor, the speedster. Tight end, Eifert, a 96. Offensive line comes as follows. They have Jake Fisher, 81. Also, Adam Bisnowadi from the University of Pittsburgh. Left guard, Clint Bowling. Center, Russell Bodine. Right guard, Kevin Zeitler. And right tackle, Mike Adams. Not a horrible offensive line. Left defensive end, Carlos Dunlap. Right defensive end, what? They moved Geno Atkins to defensive end, huh? Must be a 3-4, I guess they switched to. And Eddie Vander Doss from UCLA as their starting defensive tackle. Left outside linebacker, Anthony Hitchens. Middle linebacker, Sean Spence. Right outside linebacker, Vontez Burfict, 93 overall. We got William Jackson, DeMonte Kazee from San Diego State. And Josh Shaw is our secondary there. Free safety, George Aloka. And strong safety from the University of Florida. Incredibly underrated safety. He better not. If he slips, I don't even care. Eagles don't even have any needs at safety. You got to get Marcus May. This guy is an absolute baller. I think Marcus May is as good as Keanu Neal. Different, little bit different type of player, but almost as good as their strong safety. And special teamers, Josh Lambo and Drew Butler. Moving on to the Buffalo Bills at quarterback. They have Tyrod Taylor still holding on to the starting gig with that fucking big-ass salary cap. He probably will be gone next year for the future, which is Mitch Trubisky from North Carolina. At running back, they got Shady and Theo Riddick. Fullback, Andy Janovich, 78. Wide receivers are Sammy Watkins and Justin Hunter. This is a pretty weak wide receiver core here. Buffalo. Charles Clay, 84 overall tight end. Offensive line comes as follows. They got Cordy Glenn, Brian Allen from Michigan State. They got center T.J. Bray, who's actually not a creative prospect. That's just a random guy. Patrick Omame. But also Quentin Nelson from Notre Dame, regarded as one of the top guards in the upcoming draft class. And right tackle, legendary Philadelphia Eagle Dennis Kelly. Defensive side of the ball, left defensive end, Adolphus Washington. Right defensive end, Aaron Lynch, coming over from the San Francisco 49ers, making a position change from outside linebacker to defensive end. D tackle, Marcel Darius. They also have Carlos Watkins from Clemson, 78. Outside linebacker, they got Jerry Hughes. Middle linebacker, Preston Brown and Reggie Ragland. And right outside linebacker, Josh Bynes. But probably should go with the rookie. Well, not the rookie, but the prospect out of Illinois, Dwayne Smoot. They also have Shaq Lawson they can potentially use. In the secondary, Stephon Gilmore and Ronald Darby are two really solid corners. Free safety, Duke Williams. And strong safety, Robert Blanton. Special teams are Greg the Leg Zerline. All right, not Greg with the third leg. And punter is Colton Schmidt. So definitely a solid secondary there in Buffalo. Not a horrible roster by any means. Moving on to the Denver Broncos. I got a fucking text message here. All right, cool. The Denver Broncos had quarterback Paxton Lynch up to an 84 overall, which is something to keep in mind when we eventually get around to doing the Denver Broncos realistic rebuild. He develops into a decent quarterback. At running back, C.J. Anderson's up to a 90 overall. They also have Samaje Perine from Oklahoma, 77. Fullback, Lonnie Pryor. Wide receivers are Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Tight end, Max Williams, M-A-X-X. One more X, that would have been such a dank meme name, huh? Where is he? He was at Baltimore, I think. Offensive line comes as follows. They got Russell Okung, also Kevin Pedophile from our Tampa Bay Buccaneers rebuild. Russell Okung, Max Garcia, Patrick Lewis, Dan Feeney, the guard from Indiana, very highly regarded, and Phil Laldholt, who I thought retired, but I guess not. So still trying to find some solidity on that offensive line for Denver. Derek Wolfe, 89 overall defensive end, with Carl Lawson, 85 overall defensive end from Auburn. He's a monster. D tackle is John Jenkins. They also have Chris Wormley from Michigan. Left outside linebacker, we got Von Miller from Texas A&M. We got middle linebacker, we got Brandon Marshall. We got right outside linebacker, Shane Ray. We got Chris Harris and Aqib Talib as their corners. Still elite, even though Talib is getting up there in age and slowly regressing a little bit. Free safety, Darian Stewart, and strong safety, T.J. Ward. Special teamers are Brandon McManus and Britton Colquitt. Now, I remember something. We're at the Broncos that I did in the first video that I should do in this one, because so many people kept. Okay, we got Taco Charlton, who I didn't mention, who I had from Notre Dame. I made one fucking mistake. I swear to God, everyone reminded me like 30 fucking times about this. Hopefully, I remember to save this. He's from Michigan. There we go. We'll save that shit. All right, there you go. Finally got that done. Next up to the Cleveland Browns. At the quarterback spot, they got Chad Kelly from Ole Miss. Hopefully, he will be the answer for the Browns' quarterback needs that they've had for literally ever. Running back, they got Duke Johnson as their starter, 82. Maxie Pasinger at fullback. Wide receivers are Corey Coleman, who's up to an 87. He's developing nice. They got Kamar Aiken, Travin Durrell from LSU. Tight end, Gary Barnage. Offensive line comes as follows. They have Joe Thomas, 97. They also have John Heck from North Carolina, who's an 83 overall, waiting for Joe Thomas to move on, I assume. Joel Batonio, J.C. Treader, Jermaine Ifedi, and Bryce Harris as our offensive line. So, not horrible. Defensive line, they have Andrew Trumbetti from Notre Dame, a 78 overall rookie, real prospect. Right defensive end, Lawrence Guy. Defensive tackle, Danny Shelton. Outside linebacker, they got Tim Williams from Alabama, 84 overall. He's a beast. Some worry about off-field issues coming into real-life draft. but he's still a real solid playmaker. And I guess they didn't watch our rebuild, because you move Ogba to defensive end, everyone knows the results you get from Ogba. He's a goddamn hidden cheat code in this game. Middle linebacker, Christian Kirksey, and right outside linebacker, another Alabama prospect, if you will, Deshaun Hand, who's an 81 overall. Probably isn't that good in real life, but this is bad. We can do what we want. The secondary, they got Joe Hayden and Kawan Williams. Free safety, Raheem Moore. And strong safety, they have Tony Connor from Ole Miss. Travis Coons and Andy Lee make up the special teams. Moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the quarterback position. Jameis Winston, only an 85 overall. That's kind of a surprising overall. You would have figured he'd be pushing like the fucking. I keep saying fucking a lot. I say fucking a lot. If you know I say fucking a lot. Everyone knows that. You would have figured though Jameis Winston would be pushing 90 by now. Only 85. They got Doug Martin, 93 overall, running back. They also have James Conner, the cancer survivor from Pittsburgh. Inspirational story as their backup. Nikita Whitlock at fullback. Wide receivers are Mike Evans, who's a 92. They got Ruben Randall, Jamison Crowder, and Robert Woods. So they're pretty stacked here at wide receiver. Tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, 84. I guess they forgave him for that DUI that he had. Offensive line goes as follows: Donovan Smith, Ronald Leary, Matt Paradis, Ali Marpet, and DeMar Dotson. So a solid offensive line. Defensive side of the ball, we got William Golston at left defensive end. Right defensive end is Alohi Kikaha. Defensive tackle is Gerald McCoy, 92. Linebackers, Jalopal Bartu, 77. Middle linebacker, Quan Alexander, 86. We also have Kendo Beckwith from LSU, the prospect, 73. Right outside linebackers, Levante David. In the secondary, we got Vernon Hargrave, Cyrus Jones. It's not horrible. That's definitely young and developing. Free safety, Eddie Jackson from Alabama, up to an 85 overall. Good God. And they also had this guy, Randall Poindexter from Florida, 78. But Eddie Jackson, that's a beast. Strong safety, another prospect from Virginia, Quinn Blanding, the rookie. Special teamers are Aguayo and Brian Anger. So solid team there in Tampa Bay. Looking at the Arizona Cardinals. At quarterback, they got Drew Brees. They got that boy, Drew Brees. I think that's probably going to be his last year. He's going to retire. And then they're going to move on to Lamar Jackson from Louisville. Running back, they got David Johnson, who's a 91. He's a freak. Stadenfield, or whatever the fuck. Whatever, buddy. You're a fullback. Wide receivers, they got John Brown, Michael Floyd, and Tyreek Hill. So very good wide receiver core. With no more Larry Fitzgerald. Jermaine Gresham at tight end. Offensive line is Jared Valdehier, Mike Upati, Dalton Freeman, John Asamoah, and DJ Humphrey. So, decent offensive line. And on the defensive side of the ball, Calais Campbell, 89. Robert Kimdichie, 83. Right defensive end, Rashid Hagman. They got Justin Ellis at defensive tackle. A.J. Klein, outside linebacker. Dayon Buchanan and Kevin Minter as their linebackers. And right outside linebacker is Chandler Jones. Not sure where Marcus Golden is at. He was like one of the best fucking players on defense. The second, they got Pat Pete, 95, and Adoree Jackson from USC, 81. They also have Cameron Sutton from Tennessee, 76. Free safety, Honey Badger with the 99. And then Tyvon Branch here at the safety spot. Catanzaro and Ryan McChinsey, or whatever, as the special teamers. To the San Diego Chargers. At the quarterback spot, Phillip Rivers. Old man Rivers, 82 overall. He's probably on his last legs here with San Diego. Running back, they got Melvin Gordon, 86. Fullback is Derek Watt. Got enough fullbacks there. Fucking San Diego. Wide receivers, Keenan Allen is a 93. They got Travis Benjamin, Marquez Wilson, Stacy Colley from Miami. Tight ends, Hunter Henry. Offensive line is King Dunlap. And they have the prospect from Stanford, the rookie Casey Tucker, who's a 78 overall rookie tackle, which is very good. They have Hugh Thornton, John Sullivan, DJ Fluker, and Joe Barksdale's our offensive lines. All right. Defensive side, Joey Bosa up to a 91 overall. He's developing like a fucking monster. Right defensive end, Lugette. Defensive tackle, they got Devon Goshow. I don't know. He's a real prospect for LSU. 83 overall. So fuck, looks like a goddamn all-star. Left outside linebacker Jeremiah Toshu. They have Denzel Perryman and Manti Te'o. Melvin Ingram as outside linebacker on the other side. So it's a solid linebacking core. Secondary is Jason Verrett, Casey Hayward. They also have Jason McCourty, former Tennessee Titan. Free safety Tashawn Gibson. And strong safety Josh Harvey Clemens, formerly of Georgia, now of Louisville, the prospect. He's a beast in our Toronto Huskies expansion, so hopefully he's doing nice things for San Diego. Santos, Andrew Kaiser are their special teamers. Moving on to the Kansas City Chiefs. At the quarterback position, Alex Smith holding on by a fucking thread that starting quarterback gig off from Deshaun Kaiser from Notre Dame. Was a 78 overall rookie. Running back, they got Jamal Charles is still there, 86. Sherman at fullback. Wide receivers are Jerry Maclin, DeAnthony Thomas, and Willie Snead. I guess they decided to move on from Tyreek Hill. Tight ends is Travis Kelce, 94. Offensive line comes as follows: Eric Fisher, Joe Tunney, Mitch Morse, Laurent Duvernay Tardif, and Mitchell Schwartz. So a very good offensive line. Probably the best one we've seen so far. Left defensive end, Chris Jones, 85. They also have Jay Howard from Florida, 83. Right defensive end is Alan Bailey. They got Don Terry Poe with a 90. Linebackers are Justin Houston, 97. They got Reuben Foster from Alabama. So if you guys remember him from our Cincinnati Bengal rebuild where he got up to a 99, don't think he's probably the same prospect, but it still holds a special spot in my heart. Plus 79 is not too bad. He'll develop probably mid-80. D Ford here, 76. Probably should actually go in and edit him a little bit as he had like, what, 12 or 13 sacks in 2016. Corners are Marcus Peters and Davon House. They got Eric Berry as the free safety, and strong safety, Ron Parker. Special teamers are Connor Barth and Zach Colin. Zach, a 6'5" punter. Jesus Christ, that's a monster. Looking at the Indianapolis Colts here, quarterback Andrew Luck, 89. Running back, they got the freak Leonard Fournette, who's only an 82, but he's only 1 year in the league. He can continue to develop. Mooney as the fullback. Wide receivers are T.Y. Hilton, Dante Moncrief, and Philip Dorsett. And they also have John Ross from Washington, only a 71 though. Probably could be a little bit higher. Use him a little bit more. Come on, team. Tight end, they have Dwayne Allen. Offensive line is Anthony Costanzo, Jack Mewhort, center Ryan Kelly, Jonathan Harrison, and Joe Haig. So, all right offensive line, especially on the left-hand side, sorry. They have Kendall Langford, left defensive end, right defensive end Courtney Upshaw, defensive tackle Tyson Jackson, so not a good defensive line. Bruce Irvin, Nate Irving, and they have Myles Garrett. What the fuck? Why'd they move Myles Garrett to an outside? Well, I don't really think he'll be an outside linebacker in the NFL, but I guess if they're running a 3-4, that makes sense. But they also have Ryan Anderson, a prospect from Alabama, 81. So typical. Unless one of these guys plays just outside the other side, then they have some pretty good outside linebackers here in Indianapolis. Secondary, they have Vontae Davis, Drake Kirkpatrick, free safety T.J. Green's up to an 81, and strong safety Nate Allen. Special teamers are Mike Nugent and Pat McAfee. How many more do we got here? Oh, we're almost done. 2 more to go. Now looking at the Dallas Cowboys, at quarterback Dak Prescott's added 84 overall now. They also got this guy, Casey Stoyanovich, a rookie 76 overall quarterback. I guess they just want to keep the quarterback controversy going in Dallas. He's just a random guy, didn't edit him. Zeke Elliott up to a 91 overall. David Johnson for the fullback. Wide receiver are Des Bryant, Terrence Williams, and Cole Beasley. Tight end is O.J. Howard. So they move on from Jason Witten. They get another great prospect here in O.J. Howard. Offensive line is going. Tyron Smith, 99. Lael Collins, they got 93 overall. Travis Frederick, 97 overall. Zach Martin, and Robbie Hart here at right tackle. So pretty much consistent with how the Dallas Cowboys are now, where right tackle's their weakest spot on the O-line, but still an elite offensive line for sure. Defensive side of the ball, DeMarcus Lawrence, 87. Randy Gregory, 87. Ha! You'd never be on the field enough to develop that kind of rating. D-tackle, the Canadian, Tyrone Crawford. They also have Malik McDowell from Michigan State, 78 overall. Outside linebacker, Shaq Barrett. They got middle linebacker, Jalen Smith. Right outside linebacker, Shan Lee. Secondary is Orlando Scandrick, Anthony Brown. Not too bad, Byron Jones, and Barry Church on the safety. So definitely a solid secondary for the Cowboys. Dan Bailey and Chris Jones are their special teamers. And finally, the Miami Dolphins. At the quarterback spot, they're still trying to hold on to the Ryan Tannehill project. He's an 80 overall. Maybe just move him back to wide receiver. I don't know. Running back, they have Jay Ajayi and Carlos Williams, both 88, 86. And then they have Wayne Gallman from Clemson, who's a 77. Fullback, Zach Line. Wide receivers are Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker, really solid. They have Jehu Chasson from Michigan, who's a 76. Tight end, Jordan Cameron. Offensive line goes as follows. They have Jamarco Jones from Ohio State, 80. Larry Tunsil, 88. Center, Mike Pouncey, 83. Ted Karras and Jawan James, 80. So solid offensive line there in Miami. Defensive end, they have Tate Carradine, Michael Johnson. D tackles, Adom Sue, and the freak from Alabama. Probably the best defensive prospect in this current in-real-life draft, Jonathan Allen, who's an 83. Linebackers, Koa Misi. Middle linebackers, Ray Maluga, Kiko Alonso. Right outside linebacker, Jelani Jacobs. Solid linebacking core. The secondary, they got Xavier Howard. Cole Luke from Notre Dame, real prospect. Still trying to find some consistency at the cornerback spot. Free safety, Dominic Sanders, real prospect from the University of Georgia, the rookie. And at strong safety, Rashad Jones still doing his thing. With special teamers, Andrew Franks and Kevin Huber. So I think that, there you go. We're back to the Eagles. So I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. I assume because of its length, you'd probably just skip to see whatever teams you wanted. But again, thank you guys for the continued support throughout the realistic Eagles, I guess realistic as much as it could be. Eagles Connected Franchise Mode. So maybe, guys, smash the like button. I don't know how many likes I want on this. A bunch of likes. So a bunch of likes would be nice for all the hard work that I'm doing on trying to bring you guys the best Connected Franchise Mode on YouTube. If this is your first time stopping by and you like what I'm doing here, check out, the Toronto Huskies expansion. Check out my Eagles Connected Franchise Mode. Subscribe if you like that content. Leave a comment in the comment section below with any questions, concerns, compliments. Compliments are certainly welcome. But that does it for me here today, guys. Thank you for watching, and until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace.